can say now that I am a much better boundary setter than I used to be. Today is my part 3 video on my series all about learning to say no without feeling guilty. And to give you a little teaser, today I'm going to talk about kisses. And you'll see why. So I'm glad you're here. This is Speed Healing with Isla G, where we learn how to stop the struggle and spend more precious time in our power, living bravely and being victim-free. Alright, so by the end of this video, this is all about my practical tips for saying no without feeling guilty, connecting and following up on my other first 2 videos all about what's really at the heart of a people pleaser, why this is so hard in the first place for us, and then going into some emotional healing tools to be able to show you how you can start healing from the inside out to make this whole process a lot easier. So if you haven't already seen those, click the I in the corner and go watch them. Today is all about when someone comes to you and be like, can you do this thing for me? And then you're like, I don't know. That's what I'm talking about today. How I've learned to say no or to set boundaries and know what exactly to do, how to do it without stumbling all over yourself, and doing it gracefully and kindly in the process. Also, remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and hit the bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video, especially because a lot of mine are interconnected and you need the rest of the story. So let's get started. I have a 5-minute timer like always, and I'll be able to share my 3 simple steps. You ready? All right, here we go. Step number 1 is to take your time. Woo! And you might be saying to me, what? I don't have to answer someone under pressure? Oh my word. Oh my word. No, you do not. You never have to answer anything under pressure. And even if you give yourself only a little bit of time to make up your mind, any time you give yourself is time well spent, because listening to your heart is the most important thing you could ever do. So taking your time means this little process. If someone asks you to do something, be gracious and grateful. I would love to help. Thank you for thinking of me, but I need to go check my calendar and I will get back with you. And then the next step is to ask for their deadline. When do you need to know my answer? And then they can tell you, I need to know in the next half hour. Or like, let me know by sometime tomorrow, you're good, whatever. Whatever the time frame is, don't feel the pressure. It's okay for you to take a step back and to actually think about it. And the best way to do that is to not make a promise right away. Never give an answer right away. And just say, thank you, let me go check, and I will let you know. Step number 2 is to evaluate your priorities. And this happens during the distance space that you gave yourself. So first you take your time, and in that time you are evaluating your priorities. And this helps you to get your center again. Because if you are a person like me, a people pleaser of any sort, our desire is to help make people happy or comfortable, or to help in any way. And so when we get asked and we feel under pressure, often we can give an answer in our eagerness to help. We completely forget our priorities in the process, and we get in a lot of trouble that way. When we agree to something, then later realize that was absolutely impossible, or I messed up some other thing I agreed to while doing so. Evaluating your priorities is really important here. To go about that, I do a few things. First, I consider the people in my living space. So somebody might ask me to do something, but because I don't live alone, I have a wonderful spouse and a daughter. It is never fair to answer under pressure when you're agreeing to something that involves people you live with and you didn't even tell them. So that one's a no-brainer. So along with saying, I need to go check my calendar, it's also equally appropriate to always give yourself a rule to say, I need to check with my spouse, or I need to check with the people at home. Because that's just kindness. It's not about asking for permission. It's kindness. It's consideration. And I then ask myself a few questions. I remember my priorities, no matter how guilty I might feel. My needs come before other people's. And mine and my family's needs, my immediate family, comes before even extended family or friends. And that's very important to remember. And then I ask myself, How's my heart doing? Am I overburdened right now? What do I have going on? What am I capable of? Even though I might think I should be able to do this, how am I really feeling? I start to pay attention to my feelings. And that involves asking myself this question: can I willingly help without feeling resentment or expectations in return? If I can help willingly and gladly, that means I'm legitimately capable of helping. If I'm helping and then later I feel resentment or grudging anything or feeling burdened, then I overextended myself and I helped when I really wasn't capable. So this takes some practice and some repetition. Oftentimes, because I am a people pleaser and I really do struggle with this, I can't always evaluate my priorities by myself. Sometimes I need help, and that's another place where my spouse is a great sounding board for me. So maybe you need to talk to another friend or your spouse or your mom or somebody and say, I'm having this thing happen, somebody's asking me to do this, I feel obligated, I'm feeling the pressure, and I need some help to figure out if this really is something I can do or not. Can you help me? And if they're really on your side, they will help you out and remind you, actually, you've been really struggling lately, or actually, we have this other thing going on. And they can help work you through this evaluation process. It's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to not always know. Step 3 is my favorite, called the KISS method, or keep it simple, sister, because I don't like saying stupid. You've probably heard of that method before. This is so genius for this situation. Once you're ready, you've evaluated, you've taken your time, however much time you were able to give yourself. You've evaluated, you've figured out your answer, now you need to stick to it. And that's the boundary, is to stick to what you realized you can or cannot do. So then you follow up with the person either in text message or call or in person or on the phone, email, whatever. You can do any one that's appropriate, and you follow up and let them know your answer. And you can be very graceful and very kind. And if it's a yes, you're like, sweet, that's even easier. We've got a lot of practice with that one. So I looked at my calendar, I'm all good. Oh, there's my beeper. Okay, gotta wrap it up. Looked at my calendar, I'm good, guys, I'll be there. Or when it's a no, you can say, you know what, I checked my calendar, I checked in, I am not available. But thank you for thinking of me, you reaffirm the good. Thank you for thinking of me, I would love to maybe help another time. Let me know, I hope it all goes well. Or I'm sorry I'm gonna miss it, but I hope you have a wonderful time. There's a variety of ways you can give a no answer that is polite and respectful, and honoring of them and their value to you in your life. If there's someone of value, like a family or a friend. That's mainly what I'm talking to today. So that's how you answer. And the keep it simple part means you do not owe anyone an explanation of why you're saying no. Your life is your business, and you don't need to justify yourself and justify your no. You never need to apologize for taking care of you and what's most important. So even if someone is asking, you do not owe anyone an explanation, and it is okay and it is genius to keep the answer simple and just, if it's a no, say, I checked, I'm sorry, that doesn't work for me this time. Those are the 3 steps. There you have it. You take your time, create a little distance in that time, you evaluate your priorities so you can figure out your answer, then you return and report, and you give that answer in a simple, clean way. So I hope that helped you, and if you're wondering now, wait a second, I've got some questions. For instance, what if I already accidentally said yes? What do I do now? What if the person I'm talking to doesn't like my no answer? What if they argue with me? What if they ask me why? What if they don't respect my no? I've got you covered. In my very next video, I am making a frequently asked questions one, where I answer all of these questions that I have asked myself in this process and that others have asked me, to guide you through how to solve some of these tricky situations. So that one will be coming next week. Look out for that. And in the meantime, answer this question for me. Out of these 3 steps I told you today, taking your time, evaluating your priorities, and keeping it simple, sister. Let me know which of them comes easily to you or more easily, and which of them is a lot harder. For example, the taking your time part, I've got that one nailed in the bag. That one has always been easier for me. To know that it's very okay to say, hey, thank you for asking, but let me get back to you on that. I need to go check my calendar and I will let you know. That part's easy. The harder part for me is later evaluating and returning, and if I have to say no, to be able to say it without lying, without giving excuses, justifications, without apologizing like crazy. That one is a lot harder for me, and it's taken a lot more practice. So that's my answer. Let me know what it is for you down in the comments below, and I'm so excited to read those. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up for me and let me know. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell and comment. I post new videos weekly, so I will see you on the next one.